Hey everyone, this is the Grunge Geeks, and today I'm going to be doing my top 5 model and miniatures magazines for this month. Now before we kick off, I just want to point out a couple of things. Number one, this list is entirely my own personal opinion. I'm not being paid to say anything about any of these magazines that I've picked up. It's just my own opinions. If you agree, disagree, or think there's something I should take another look at, then please post a comment down below and let me know. Number two, I've only picked up the digital editions of all these magazines. I've not picked up a physical mag now for a long, long time. I just find that having all these in digital, it just makes things so much more easier storage-wise. And three, I'm only including model-only mags. So no gaming-related ones, yeah? So no White Wolf or War Games Illustrated, that kind of thing. Because I think they probably deserve a list in their own right, which I may or may not do in the future. We'll see. So with all that said, let's get straight to it with my number 5. So, coming in at number 5, we have Railway Modeler. Now, I feel like you pretty much always get what you expect with this mag. And there's a lot of steam, a little bit of retro diesel here and there, and a couple of nice mix of big and small layouts. Although that said, they did have a very nice modelled tiny layout. It's only about 34 by 18 inches layout. I thought that was pretty nice little. It's always handy to have a nice little shelf layout in there. There was also a really nice O-gauge layout actually that I did really enjoy reading through as well. It was a great article to look at and read through. They also had a really nice article on a TT gauge railway as well. Now I like that because you don't always tend to see a lot of TT gauge, especially over here in the UK as well. So I just always enjoy reading about seeing someone modelling in a less used gauge, something you don't usually see a lot of. So that's my number 5. That was a Railway Modeler. Coming in now at number 4, we have British Railway Modelling. Now I feel like this one was maybe just a bit more superior to this month's Railway Modeler. There's not much between them to be fair, but I think BRM just pipped it for me, as I found that their layouts this month just had a bit more. They just had a bit more interest in them. What I really loved about the layouts as well that they featured was that they had a lot more pictures of the non-railway modelling as well. You know, lots of little scenes and details away from the track side, which usually get overlooked by some of these magazines because they've only got limited spacing. So yeah, most of the focus has to be on the railway itself. But taking those little detours down some back streets and that, and seeing just those little added details that a modeler will put in, I think it just brings the whole model to life really. So I really enjoy being able to see those as well in this mag. That's something that I think that British Railway Modelling picked out a lot better than Railway Modeler. Again, there was lots of steam in this issue, but this one actually had a lot more diesel as well, and even a modern electric as well layout. And that was always nice to see. Like, who doesn't love a bit of steam? But I think in terms of modelling, it's nice to see something a little bit different as well. And having a modern electric layout in there looks really nice. There's also some fun winter modelling tips as well, and they also had a nice little article on using LED lighting as well, all inside inside your model. So that was, again, it's nice little added touches. I think it's not just all about the layout; it's about trying to encourage people to maybe push their boundaries in terms of what they're modelling. All around, very enjoyable issue. Definitely the better one of the two big railway mags this month. So that's my number 4, British Railway Modelling. Next up, at number 3, we have Fine Scale Modeler. Now this is the 40th anniversary issue, and it has some lovely dioramas and also a little simple tutorial on how to make a fancy looking display base for dioramas as well. Lots of different scalings and lots of step-by-step guides, very clear-cut, picture-by-picture step guidelines. And one that I really loved was someone had done a Mandalorian diorama, and that's from the TV series Star Wars Mandalorian. And this one looked absolutely amazing. You know, and any Star Wars fan should definitely pick up this issue, just literally for that one article. It was quite a decently large scale model, all mostly scratch built, and a lot of it was 3D printed as well, and it just all came together really nicely. It just looked absolutely superb. It's something that any Star Wars collector would love to have on their shelf. It was really nice to see that. So that was one of the main highlights for me in this one. That was my number 3 fine scale modeler. Coming up next at number 2, we have Airfix Model World. Now this one was probably by far one of my biggest surprises of this month. I kind of went into this one expecting some mass advert for Airfix models, to be fair, and just sort of masquerading as articles, like look at the new models that we have coming out for Airfix, and this is how well they look. That's what I was expecting. But actually I was very, very pleasantly surprised with this. Not only did they have pieces of non-Airfix kits, but what I actually really liked as well was that they had bits on how to modify your existing models from scratch, how to use non-kit parts to enhance your Airfix models, and as I say, not just Airfix models either. They had other non-Airfix models, a lot of non-Airfix models featured in there as well, and all these sort of modifications and scratch builds as well. It was all really interesting to read, and they did have some absolutely stunning models on display. It's well worth a pick up for all lovers of model ships, planes and vehicles. They had the lot. So that was definitely a surprise hit. Really enjoy reading it. That's my number 2, Airfix Model World.
And so finally, that brings us to my number 1 model magazine for May 2022. And that is Air Modeler issue 101. Now, I just have to put this right out there. The modelling level and skill displayed in this mag is absolutely outstanding. I just can't tell you how many times I flicked through this mag and just looked at the pictures. Nothing else, just the pictures themselves. The models, they're just so super detailed in this. They're intricately put together, painted, modified and based. The articles themselves are also very interestingly written. I had a great time reading through them, getting the modeller's perspective, learning little tips and techniques that they use, especially when researching the historical aspects of what they're modelling as well. I thought it was just really interesting to read how the amount of research that they go into when they're making these fantastically beautiful model aeroplanes. The only downside I'd say to this mag, if there was one, was just there just simply wasn't enough pictures of the models themselves. I'd love to have seen more different angles and such. Sometimes I found some of the pictures to be more just zoomed in pictures of ones that we've already seen before. But other than that, I absolutely loved this magazine. I'd say that in general I am more into tanks and model railways than I am into model planes, but this mag for me, it was just by far the best of the bunch this month. It's definitely one to pick up for this month if you've not already. Well, that's all for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.